Hey guys, Marsengan here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so we are carrying on with this C's Victory with the Spirit Bomb event. I've already put out the Boo video, and we are going to do the Omega Shenron stage. So just like the previous one, I am going to do a video using the new anniversary LRs to start off with, and then I'll do one for other builds as well. So I'm bringing the Chi Light item here instead of the STR one, and I will explain why as we go on. I did give this a couple of tries on the stream earlier because I feel like with the GT duo the strategy is a little bit different and it's actually a lot harder. I actually do think if you have the Z duo it'll be easier with them, so I will actually do a run separate for that as well. So I want to go for, they're going to be on turn 4 or turn 2, which means we're going to want to get Omega to not completely deplete the minus energy until we get to turn 4, because we'll get turn 2, we'll get to get an attack off with them, which is good for stacking their attack, which obviously will make the future attacks more powerful. But we also need to make sure we then get to turn 4 so we can get the actual standby, because you got to be very careful when you do this. Like, you want to hit that damage node on the map so that you drop to 50% HP, but then you have to be really careful about picking up same type orbs because you don't want to go above the HP threshold, because remember, for the Boo duo their secondary restriction is to get hit 4 times. So it kind of comes down to like a little bit of RNG. If we get on this next turn a slot where there are 4 attacks, then I can put them there and we don't have to worry about it. So we actually do get that, which is great. So now we can go ahead and do this. We want to try and get as many attacks with them as possible. So unfortunately, not great key on this turn. But I mean, we'll take whatever we can get. We can get a few same type orbs here because obviously we are not going to go above 50%. Even if we do go above on this turn, like, we can take some damage on the next turn. So I've deliberately bought Physical Pan because Physical Pan is quite the weak unit. Like, you saw her taking damage from the this int phase on the previous turn. So the idea will be she's going to come back on turn 4. It's actually a perfect rotation setup because she's going to come back on turn 4. I should be able to put her in slot 1 and then she should die, which will allow us to fire off the Spirit Bomb. Because the biggest problem with this stage, if you're trying to do it with the actual GT duo, like using the revival, is Vegeta, even with his low defense, because he has type advantage, I've found it very difficult for him to actually die to the Omega in the final phase, because the Omega is physical. And the problem is, when you do the super attack with STR Vegeta, he can actually kill Omega, but he doesn't do enough damage in order to get like all the missions done. He does just enough damage to actually kill him, but you don't do the missions, so then your attempt is essentially failed, right? So we have to be very, very careful. So this actually works out really nicely here, because we have Yajirobe, who's also off lead. He does have that ability to you know, potentially not die if he gets hit. I'm trying to so I want all the support. I'm just thinking about how the fact this is going to carry over to Pan on the next turn, but I'm pretty sure Pan is going to die regardless, right? So I don't think getting a super with Yajirobe actually matters, but because, yeah, now as you can see, I've gone above 50% HP. So if the Boo duo hadn't been hit like 4 times on their first appearance, we would then be in trouble when it comes to, like, essentially this would be a failed run, right? So you've definitely got to be keeping an eye on a whole bunch of things. Like, I had someone say in the comments to the Boo one that they really hate this event and they think it's just more like terribly designed content, but I kind of like the fact that you do have to think very carefully about how to actually win this event and how to set it up, because you can't just go in with like your most powerful team and just kill him and then win, and also, like, you know, just bring a really powerful team and just do loads of damage and beat all the missions. You have to do specific things. You've got to keep an eye on your rotations, you've got to manage your HP, and the thing is, there are older units that can beat this. Like I showed in the earlier video, and we'll show in this video, units like Gohan, units like GT Goku, like other nukers are potentially possible, because you can use items as well. So there are ways to get this done. If you had to use the anniversary LRs, otherwise it was impossible, then I would be quite disappointed with how the event was done. But, I mean, how old is GT Goku and AGL LR Gohan now? Now, obviously, if you don't have any of the units capable to do it, then, I mean, that just is what it is, right? Like, if you don't have a very good box, then unfortunately, you just can't expect to be able to beat all of the difficult missions in the game. It just kind of is what it is, right? So we'll go ahead and do this, get our the standby into Vegeta. Now, I started to say at the start, I bought the Chi Light item, and the reason why I bought it is because the nuking items work for any typing of character, right? So it changes orbs to AGL, and it gives characters who pick them up a buff for picking up AGL orbs. If it was worded as AGL characters get buffs from picking up AGL orbs, then obviously it wouldn't work. But the reason why we're going to do this is because I want Pan to die. But if I change all of these orbs, because Vegeta, it was confirmed, I believe, by Proton in my stream earlier, one of the data download guys, that using these nuking items and increasing Vegeta's attack power does actually increase the power of the Spirit Bomb if he gets killed. But if you do it with the one that changes them to STR, then obviously he's going to get a massive heal, basically heal you to full, and then that's it. You're going to find it a lot harder to actually die. So let's see. How much is Pan going to take? Oh, she only takes 56k. Are you kidding me? So I'm still not going to die. Unless he super attacks her. Oh, and she dodged as well. Nice. And then a countdown. So 4 slots and he did 1 attack. Are you actually kidding me? So this is what happens if you don't get the revive with Vegeta. And so he did 28 million, which is good, but it's not good enough to beat all of the missions. So, yeah, let's come back in and see if we can get this done with the better setup. Let me see what missions I have actually done now, because I have had that basically almost exact same thing happen before. So I think I've done the 20 million mission already. The only reason I haven't done this like off camera, oh, we did do another one. I haven't done it off camera because I wanted to actually get the clearing the missions like on camera. So there's one for 25 and one for 30. Oh, we were so close. God damn it. Because, yeah, the Omega one, the top score for the mission is lower than the Boo one. So in theory, it's slightly easier. But let's jump back in and get this with Vegeta here. Okay, so I made it back to the other stage. We did have a repeat of the duo being on turn 2, so basically just stalled a little bit, got to turn 4. I seem to notice that like the negative energy bar really doesn't go down that much from normal attacks, so that's going to be the best way to stall if you need your nuker on the specific turn, is just to avoid supers. And then obviously in the final turn, where you want that to be the last turn, that's where you want to be making sure not only does everybody super, but if you have like the 7-year LRs, you want to be getting enough keys so they get their additionals, like Bulma getting enough keys so she gets her guaranteed additional super. So you can just go ham and make sure that bar gets completely shut out in that last turn. And then this is one of the setups that I really did want to try and get, because I'm running Yajirobe off lead. So he has an ability where he is obviously really, really good dodging wise and everything in slot 3. But we're going to put him in slot 1. So he's not acting as like the crazy support unit that he usually is, but in slot 1, he should be, I think, almost guaranteed to die here, right? So let's see how this plays out. So of course we get the countdown countdown from Omega in slot 1 instead of an attack. We want him to attack as many times as possible, really. So yeah, 77k and no dodging. There's another countdown. We always survive the first KO attack of the turn, and then we die. So we actually needed multiple hits for him to even actually die in this turn, which is why, what I was saying before, I think that getting this strategy where you actually get the revival Spirit Bomb, this is actually way more difficult than any of the other strategies that I've tried so far, I think. And it's funny because you need a lower number, like I said, for Omega, but just the way this works, like the structure of the event. Because Kid Buu, as long as you don't just kill him, like I guess the attack before, right, and mess up the cycle, like, you know, he doesn't have a second phase you have to worry about. None of that. So there you go. We get the crit. We get 40 million on the Spirit Bomb. That would have beaten all the missions, even if we had to go as high as we did with Kid Buu, which was 40. But yeah, that is the final mission completed for the 30 mil. So that is it done with the GT Duo LR. I will show some other strats here as well coming up. I suppose it's not really necessary for the video, but I do like to get the accepting the mission in the video. I did pause part way through recording since I only started the video when we actually got to Omega, so that's why it's such a long clear time. I wasn't actually playing it for 11 minutes, but yeah, there you go. So that's all the events beaten. Make sure you check out the Buu video if you haven't already. Obviously, if you don't have the GT Duo, let's jump into some other strategies right now. Okay, so for this strategy, just like we did in the Kid Buu video, we are going to use physical GT Goku. Now, as I mentioned in the Buu video, he doesn't have like a HP requirement or anything in order to get his performance. We are using the GT Heroes support memory as well. I completely forgot about the fact we could have used that in the previous one, because obviously that would be giving a buff to the GT Duo. I forgot all about that in the first video as well, to be completely honest. So yeah, if you have your support memories, do be using those. So I need to be able to stall a little bit because Goku's on the second turn. So I'm going to deliberately not get enough ki to get a double super with these guys. And then I'm not going to get a super with Yajirobe. He is in slot 3, so he should be okay defensively here. We got the extra support from Bulma. I suppose we didn't really need to. Because I need to do some attacks, right? So her getting the... Did we get enough for her to get the double super? I think we did. But we kind of need to... We need to make sure we're in that nice middle ground. Because we want to stall a little bit. But we also don't want to get to turn 3 and then not be able to do enough attacks to then make it transfer over to the final phase, right? So we got to make sure we are at least doing a few supers in the first turn. And then you can see here we've taken off about a almost a third of the gauge. So as long as I don't go too crazy in this next turn, then when we get back around to this turn again, I can get the orbs for Bulma to get her additional. I can actually get the orbs for the GT guys to get their additional, and then we are going to be in a good spot. So I want to keep this Goku here. What is his defense? Obviously, he is a pretty mid, like old, just an awakenable SSR. Does he even raise defense on Super? He does not. So, I guess it doesn't really matter which slot we put him in since there's 3 attacks. Because I want to keep him on rotation just because he provides support. So I guess I'll just put him in slot 1. And then, yeah, we can grab orbs for Goku. And then I... don't think... Yeah, we actually can't. I guess maybe if they triple supered, but we can't get enough supers on this turn, I think, to actually fully deplete the energy gauge. So, oh, it only takes like 6k. I forget, like, these guys in this event, they don't really hit that hard, because I guess we noticed that even from bringing, like, off leader skill Yajirobe in the last one, in slot 1, which is obviously his worst, like, place to be put, and he was getting, like, he was only taking, what, 70k? Type neutral, which honestly, for considering the fact that he's a support unit with no leader skill, you would expect him to be taking a lot more damage than that if it was one of the actual more difficult events. So I guess I shouldn't have been too worried about that Goku, considering he has type advantage here. But yeah, this puts us pretty nicely where we want to be. We're getting this gauge down, but we're nowhere near actually being able to deplete it fully. Which allows us to then do so in the next turn. So like I said, you got to think about it, you got to manage your resources, manage your turns, and then yeah, you can get into this position. This is exactly where we want to be. So let's go for, yeah, we'll grab all the orbs for you, because remember this support from Bulma carries over to the next turn. Then we will, actually all the orbs are going to disappear. I was going to say we could leave the physical orbs, but I suppose it actually doesn't matter, does it? But we'll do this. And then we will move over into the next turn. So we're going to have that physical Goku on rotation. We're going to have the support from Bulma carrying over to the next rotation. I don't think... Did we have... Was Yajirobe on turn 1? Because if he was, we're going to have him in slot 3, which is going to be even more support for Goku. So that will actually be really, really good. Because I don't think they share... any links, so I can just put Goku in slot 1. But yeah, we'll see how that plays out here. I mean, I'm not worried about the AGL Goten and Trunks in slot 3 as well, because I mean, we've seen how much damage this guy is doing to weaker units, and like, I mean, these guys are not terrible, but they're obviously a little bit outdated for the current meta. But with this event, like the difficulty level that it is, I would imagine that Omega, or is he actually Sin at the moment? No, he is Omega. I imagine Omega does double-digit damage to them, right? So, and that was if they didn't even get additional supers. So yeah, they're fine. Plus, because they are on the leader skill, right? So we're all good here. Okay, so here we go. Let's see how this plays out for Goku. Oh, it is the Yajirobe turn. Okay. Well, rip for Omega here, hopefully. What do they share? Just Fierce Battle, which he already has anyway. So, yeah, perfect. All right, well, let's use our Dabura cookies here. Hope we don't get completely shafted. All right, nice. Hopefully it changes the STR ones with the second one. There we go. Oh, it changed both. Perfect. Because, yeah, you want to use both ideally. It doesn't give you double the attack buff, but it does obviously give you the more orbs collected, which is the whole point. And then we'll do this, which is going to give him even more support. So we've got Bulma support, Yajirobe support, GT Heroes support memory, Dabura Cookie with an entire field of physical orbs, 55 million attack stat. All right, so let's see. Is it going to be dependent on crits or not? No. There you go, because the highest mission for Omega is 30 million. So, boom, there you go. 30 million, well, it was 32, with physical GT Goku. Okay, so for this one, we are using AGL LR Gohan again. We've brought the AGL nuking item. I've brought the Super Types Android/Cell Saga support memory. Of course, we have an Android 16 on the team, and we have deliberately hit the damage node. This will allow us to fuse into, it will allow us to transform into, I need to be careful actually about the number of supers I'm going to do here. I think I will not super with these guys. Now, we are running the full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku as the friend, which means there are a couple of units like Vegeta and Trunks on this team who are not getting his leader skill. But obviously Gohan is on full power. We just needed to make sure. I wanted someone who gave a 200% lead to Gohan, and then obviously the other, like the friend leader, to cover him as well. But some of the units that are not getting the leader skill, like Vegeta and Trunks, are perfectly fine defensively anyway. We actually got a really good starting rotation here by having this Tech Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, the World Tournament EZA, because he supports AGL, so he's going to support Gohan. And by floating him off here, Gohan is on turn 2. That means this guy's going to come back on turn 4. And then they're going to be together for the support. So we should be in a really good spot here. I just have to be really careful. So I have to do this, basically. And really, we really do have to hope that 16 doesn't take too much damage. So we will get a super with Gohan. Then obviously we're not going to get a super with 16 anyway. And then who's on the next turn? Will we get enough supers on the next turn? I guess it depends if we get additionals or not. I think I will get a super with Bardock here. Because otherwise I have to get really lucky with additionals on the next turn. Well, not necessarily really lucky, but it's the opposite. If we get really bad luck on the next turn, then I might not do enough supers to finish him off. Especially because I don't know if Gohan is going to do like a bunch of additionals here as well. Yeah, so he did an additional normal. So I think super attacking with Bardock was definitely the right idea here. And then we should get enough super attacks on the next turn. I guess it also depends on like the RNG of like how many super attacks Vegeta and Trunks are going to do as well, because their additionals from their passive could be supers. 16 getting an additional super here is actually probably not that bad either, to be honest, because he's not going to do a lot of damage. I don't know if that even really... Did that move the negative energy gauge down by very much? I actually don't know, but hopefully we can just get enough supers on this next turn that it's not going to matter. Although... I just realised, actually, we're not going to have a Super Saiyan Goku with Gohan on the next turn. So I'm actually not too sure now how this is going to play out. Alright, well, let's see what we get here. So we're going to do this. We will do this. And then do this. So we are kind of relying on Vegeta and Trunks to get some good supers here. I guess, in fact, one thing that could actually work out reasonably well here is if we did die this turn, we get the revive, which puts you at enough HP to still be able to transform with Gohan. But then we could potentially stall again, and then that would put Super Saiyan Goku on the same turn as Gohan. I completely forgot about that until just now. I thought that starting rotation was really good because of the being able to float off the other Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. I mean, I guess it depends, right? With the support, with the item, like the nuking item and all the orbs, there is still the potential that we can do it. Because remember, Gohan can clear the 40 million against Kid Buu. So you only need to get 30 million against Omega. So that may still be possible even with... even without the Super Saiyan Goku on the rotation with him. So, but look at that. I think we manage to get like just enough supers in order to get the deplete the energy gauge. So I guess this is where we're going to find out how much of a difference that makes, right, for Gohan. Right, okay. So we're going to get some decent links here. Let's transform. Change the orbs. Oh. Okay. Then we're going to use this. Okay. Now, will this change the rainbow orbs? That's the question. No, it didn't do anything. Nice. Right, so we can get... Well, we can get all of the AGL orbs, which I guess is the best we can ask for here. So, 18. Is this going to be enough for 30 million damage without a Super Saiyan Goku on the rotation? I could have used like Bulma or Yajirobe again for like off-rotation support, but I didn't want to use them in all of these like runs because I know some people are not necessarily going to have them. But yeah, it's definitely a lower attack stat than we're used to seeing. 26 million with the crit. So yeah, you definitely need to have a Super Saiyan Goku on the rotation with him. Okay, so we're back, and now we actually do have Gohan on rotation with a Super Saiyan Goku. We do not have a support unit this time, though, so it'll be interesting to see how exactly this will play out in this scenario. So I think we just go ahead and transform straight away here, just so we can see what the orb field is looking like. Okay. Man. That RNG, though. Oh, okay. I mean, I guess... I could do this. Yeah, let's do this. And then we'll do this. And... yeah, it made no difference. Okay, nice. God damn it. Alright, well... okay, let's see what happens. I don't know if this is going to be enough, but... remember, we only need to do 30 million, but... man, that is the number of rotations it actually took me, like jumping in and coming back out, so we could actually get like Gohan on the right turn with a Super Saiyan Goku. I mean, I guess the answer to that is just bring another Super Saiyan Goku, but I obviously wanted to have like certain supports and like certain other units, but we'll see how this plays out here. We do get the extra attack buff from having the Goku, so it's like having a support unit, right? We got up to 33 million. So, can we get the crit for good measure? Hey, we get the crit and we do 31. Alright. Then, to think I almost binned this run off after that bad orb change. So, that shows you how good Gohan can be for this, as long as you have a Super Saiyan Goku. We got a pretty bad orb change with the Chilai item, and we still did 31 million. It took a crit, but we still did it. So, there you go. So, that is another unit that you can beat it with as well. So... yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Who did you get it done with? Hopefully this helps you if you haven't done it already. But yeah, this tricky little event. I believe they add extra missions towards the end of the anniversary as well. But obviously I'll do a video going over that stuff as and when it occurs. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.